Worst one. There's a lot of bad ones. You guys were talking about people on their phones or whatever.
Yeah.
That's just like every movie here in America. Everyone's just fucking rude all the time.
Really?
But I have to say, worst theater experience. Every time I see a Fast and Furious movie, from 4 to 7, I don't want to shame mentally ill people at all, but every time I see a Fast and Furious movie, there's a mentally ill person in the theater, and they're very loud. Like, they yell a lot. So the 4th one was a guy yelling the whole time. 5th one was the same exact thing. 6th one, a guy was yelling really loud in the full theater, keep in mind. And then there was a kid who yelled, "Shut up." And then this guy got up.
Oh, no.
Went, "He's mentally ill. Leave him the fuck alone, kid." And people started clapping in the middle of the movie. And then these two got in a fight in the middle of the theater.
What?
Like, not a fist fight, but they were fucking yelling at each other. And I was like, oh my God, I'm trying to watch a Fast and Furious movie. Why is this always an issue? So,
Wow.
it's usually because I go to a matinee showing. I'm thinking, like, maybe that's the correlation, that, like, mentally ill people. Again, I don't want to shame mentally ill people because it's not their fault, right? But it's very distracting in a movie when people are yelling at each other or just yelling in general. So I go to a late showing of the 7th one, right? Not many people in the theater, but then more people start coming in as it goes along. I'm like, this is kind of odd, but okay. And then there's this one guy, he's mentally ill because he's murmuring. I'm like, oh God, another mentally ill person, okay. But he leaves the theater and comes back in, like, repeatedly and just strolls around the theater, and he has a trench coat on, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this guy's going to shoot up the theater. So I run out of the theater
America.
and, like, try to get somebody. Yeah, because I'm, like, terrified because this guy is, like, just walking around scoping out the place and then leaving. And as he's going, like, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get the fuck out of here. So I called the theater people. I'm like, there's some guy just, like, running around the theater. I think he's gonna shoot up the place. Can you please do something about it? And thankfully nothing happened, but I'd have to say, luckily when I saw the 8th one, it was okay.
You had a change of
Oh,
heart.
the movie was okay.
Yeah. So
You loved the movie, did you?
I'd have to say those are the worst theater going experiences for me. Again, not shaming mentally ill people, but it's...
You know what? You
it's
just reminded me of one, speaking of The Dark Knight.
Me too.
When I saw The Dark Knight Rises, something happened which I can't believe that it happened. You got to tell me if you guys have ever experienced this kind of thing happening in one of your theaters. The film began, the screen was black, and I was so excited. And the sound starts playing, and it's like, oh, this is cool. And then it keeps going, and the screen is still black. Literally, the film plays for 15
That's
minutes with no visuals. And I looked back to see where they were projecting it, and they were projecting it into, like, the corner of the room, just in the complete wrong place. For 15 minutes.
The employees were just
this
watching.
This is the most fucking British thing ever. No one said anything.
That's
Everyone
so
just
funny.
sat there in complete silence and just
that's so
listened.
Oh my God.
And then it took
happened when
them
I saw
20 minutes to
Skyfall.
reset.
Yeah, that happened when I saw Skyfall.
There's been countless times where I've been in a movie and there's been an issue either with the 3D or the sound or the video at the beginning of the movie. And I've learned that you literally just have to take initiative and, like, run out of your seat, find the closest employee and be like, I'm in theater 6. It's not working. Fix it now. Because if you don't, then you're just wasting time and everybody's, you're just wasting everybody's time. And nobody else is going to do it. You can't trust other people to do it. You just got to be the guy, So I've ran out there and just gotten it fixed many times. And I feel like I've made the world a better place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why couldn't you have been in my theater?
Oh, well, maybe someday. You reminded me of Ralph. You reminded me of when I saw Get Out. There was somebody with some kind of, I'm assuming, a mental disability, a very old man who every time something happened in the movie, he would say, "Uh-oh." And it was really, like, nobody got pissed at him. Like, everybody understood what was happening, that there was this guy in the corner that, like, no one's going to scold him or anything. So people just laughed, and it was really funny.
Yeah.
He would just say,
well,
"Uh-oh."
That's better than a guy just fucking...
Yeah.
Because these people would
It
just
made
yell.
things really, really
Just for no reason.
hilarious and awkward. And then whenever there was, like, a twist in the movie, he would say, like, "What the?" Like, really loud. it was great. But everybody was enjoying it. It's like, it's partly a comedy
that's not that
anyway. So
bad.
it's like, yeah. That wasn't like a terrible experience. I do wanna share just one more. I'll keep this one quick. the same friend that puked into his mask when we were underage for other films. It was Saw 3 that we really wanted to see, and this was my fucking Saw buddy. He was so obsessed with the franchise, and so was I. And so we snuck into the movie. As we got in, I was like, okay, well, I think one of the employees just saw us go in there. There were literally 2 other people in the entire theater when we snuck into this movie. And the theater was like relatively dark. It was about to start. So I was like, okay, quick. I came up with a fantastic idea. And we sat right next to the 2 other adults in the theater. I took off my jacket. I put my hair in a ponytail. And he took off his jacket, so we were like wearing different clothes essentially. And like I look very different with my hair back. The employees came in, they shined the flashlight. I guess just noticed a group of 4 that, you know, nobody in the group looked like the 2 kids that they saw coming in. And so we watched through the whole movie because we snuck in successfully because of my quick thinking. And at the very end of the film, as we were walking out, the theater employees are about to clean up the theater. They're sitting there with the garbage bag about to go into the movie theater. One of them shouts, "Those are those 2 fucking kids!" I was like, "Oh!" And we literally ran. We ran out of the fucking building. We literally just booked it to the Chuck E. Cheese, and it was such an amazing fucking adrenaline high. I felt like I was on crack for the rest of the day. And we went to Chuck E. Cheese, and this nice lady gave us all of her fucking tokens, and we just
Oh my god.
hung out there. That was awesome. It was a very
great.
satisfying sneak into a movie and almost get caught kind of thing. Anyway, I guess another question or something.
Yeah,
Unless-
that's that question. I
yeah.
think we did that one in a
Big
detail.
big story time question that was.